Hey guys, Justin here with JHart Modelworks. It is time for our first update on the Ferrari 275 NART Spider Buddy build that we are doing with Mike from Mike's Miniature Motors. Now before we get into our progress, I wanted to talk about this car for a bit because it is a cool little car with a bit of a cool backstory. All starts with Luigi Chinetti. Luigi Chinetti is an Italian race car driver with a long history, 3 times winner for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, 2-time winner of the 24 Hours of Spa. Just a long history career as a racing driver. Luigi Chinetti sold cars to fund his racing, which apparently is just what you did in Italy. You just sold cars to fund racing. He met Enzo Ferrari when they were working for Fiat back in the day. We're talking way back in the waybacks. These two get to know each other. During World War II, Luigi Chinetti would migrate to the United States. He would become the first importer of Ferrari cars into the US, and he would be the only dealer in the US for quite some time for Ferrari. Luigi has access to old man Enzo. Luigi also owns the North American Racing Team, which is what NART stands for. This is a privateer racing team. They are a Ferrari privateer team. They're running Ferrari 250 SWB competitions. They're running the 275 GTB4 Berlinettas. Chinetti gets with old man Enzo, and he talks him into making a convertible version of the 275. Enzo agrees to do 25 cars. He would only build 10 of them. Steve McQueen would go on to wreck one of them, so there are only 9 in existence. This is a small convertible. It's running the historical Colombo V12, that Ferrari V12 that went from the very earliest cars, the 250s, way up into, I can't even remember the last car it was in, but for all of their early Ferraris, the V12 was the Colombo V12. So I thought it was a cool car with a little bit of a cool backstory. I've rambled on for quite a bit of time. Let's go ahead and run the intro and get to the part you actually want to see. Alright guys, we're going to start with the body because that's where we have done the most work. If you remember from the unboxing, this entire lower half here of the front end as well as the rear end were all separate pieces, so we started by gluing those in. This left us with some really bad seams through here as well as all the way around the front end, which are not on the one-to-one car. So we went ahead with some Tamiya polyester putty and puttied that all up and sanded it back and got rid of those seams. We did not rescribe the panel lines because those panel lines are really, really wide and they're already pretty deep. I didn't want to do any more extra work to them. It doesn't really need it. But we did take care of all of our mold seams, which for the most part they were running right along the top through here and all along this side as well. There's also a seam all along the top up here where we had to glue this panel in, so we cleaned that up as best as we could as well. So the kit had molded in door locks here. I'm going to be using something else. I'm most likely going to use some 1.2mm Top Studio metal rivets. I may 3D print some key locks, but I'm probably just going to stick with the rivets like I usually do. So I drilled a 0.5mm hole dead center through the door lock so that I can install those rivets once we get the body clear coated. So we did that on both sides. There also was a bit of a raised rectangle here on the front of the car. That's where the decal for the hood ornament is supposed to go. I'm going to be using some raised 3D decals later for this, and trying to set that on top of an already raised surface would really come out looking bad. But before I sanded that off, I put another 0.5mm hole dead center in that raised area and then sanded everything flush. Now this is going to give me a point of reference so that I know exactly where that decal needs to go later. And it's so small that the decal itself will just completely cover it and you won't see anything at all. After that, there were a couple of surface imperfections that I cleaned up. Used a little bit of CA glue to fill a couple of sinks and then sanded all of that smooth. Because of the body work that we've done on here, I went ahead and started with the Mr. Surfacer 1000 gray primer and did 3 coats of that. Sanded that final coat back so it was nice and smooth. And then we went with the Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. After the Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, we went with 3 coats of Zero Paint's extra fine silver candy base. I use this a lot when I'm doing candies because it is so fine that it does not give you that real grainy look that you get with some of the candy bases out there. I almost went with the pearl silver from Gaia Notes that I used on the Aston Martin DBS, but when I shot the original test spoon, I shot it using this silver, so I went ahead and stuck with what I had tested with. The green that we're using is a slightly translucent paint, so it really benefits from having a silver base. If you don't, all of this gets much, much darker, and you do not get any of these gorgeous highlights that you get through here. You don't get the depth of color. You lose a lot of that metallic look to it. It still has a somewhat metallic look to it without the silver. I wish I still had the test spoon. I don't know what I did with it. It is gone. But this is a paint that needs that silver. Now the paint in question is Scale Finishes Ferrari Verde Pinot. This is a historic color for Ferrari. It is an absolutely gorgeous green. I did 4 coats of the Verde Pinot, and I am really, really happy with how this is turning out. We also have done the hood the same way, pretty much the same prep. We did install the hinge in there, and we have masked that off so that when I go in and I spray the 2K, this isn't going to get onto that hinge and possibly make it too thick or cause issues with the operation of the hinge. So once we got the Verde Pinot down, we let that sit for about 24 hours just to make sure everything was nice and gassed off. And then we followed it up with some decals. Now we were only using 3 decals out of the kit for the body. We were using the 2 Pininfarina badges on the sides that you see down here below these vents. Those went down really well with no trouble at all. The other decal we went with was this Ferrari NART badge on the back. I had trouble with this one. As soon as I touched the original kit badge that was in the decal sheet, it started breaking into pieces. I had it in 5 pieces at one point in time. I was trying to get them put together so they would at least look okay, and it just was not lining up. It did not look good at all, so I used some Tamiya tape and just removed them. Now I do have another copy of this kit in the stash, so I went and rated its decal sheet, and I stole the NART logo from that because that decal sheet is in much nicer condition than this one is. So when I applied that one, this one went down just fine with no issues. This decal is slightly oversized. It should be a little bit smaller, but we got it down and it's in one piece, so we are not going to mess with it. We're not going to try to make another decal or anything like that. We're just going to stick with what we've got. Now the decal adhesion, because these are really old decals, so I have concerns about the adhesion on these decals. So my goal is to get this into 2K as soon as possible, because once we get a coat of 2K on here, that is going to lock those decals into place and we won't have to worry about them coming off later. Some other things we have been playing with. Ferrari's V12 is the Colombo V12 engine. And we are going to stay with the kit's version of the engine block. We're going to use the kit's valve covers a bit later. But I've been doing some testing. This is what Ferrari gives you for the carburetors and the intake manifold. It's just one big, long, rectangular block. Now, Ferrari was using downdraft Webers for all of these cars. They used them pretty much as long as they were using this Colombo V12. They were using these downdraft Webers. And downdraft Webers should look like this. minus the broken off little funnels here where I was test fitting. This is my test fit piece. This is a spare. I've got some others that we'll be using later, but you can definitely see the difference between what Italeri gives you and what I grabbed out of the Motoboss Ferrari 250 GTO engine. I grabbed these off of Colts 3D. I grabbed the whole engine file. I don't want to use the whole engine because then I have to deal with trying to scale it and make everything fit right. I did do some scaling and took the intake manifolds and connected them to the carburetors and made this all one piece, pretty much like they did over here. And I got everything scaled up so that it will fit inside the engine block provided to us by Italeri. So that's going to sit pretty much just like that. This is the cover that you're supposed to have that's supposed to go on top of these carbs. You would not have actually these trumpets on here. You would just have the carburetors. And then this should sit on top of it. Now I have seen several cars where they have removed this piece and they just have the trumpets installed, like the 250 GTO trumpets. And I think that is the look I'm going to go with. So that's what I've been playing with the engine. The other things that I've been playing with are in the interior. First up, we have the steering wheel. This is the kit steering wheel, which is actually fairly accurate. It's more accurate than what I'm going with. Now, the old school Ferrari 250s, 275s, the 330 road car version, not the 330 P4 racer, they all use these NART steering wheels that have this wood trim around the outer ring. They're gorgeous, gorgeous classic wheels. Now, I found a NART steering wheel on Colts 3D. It is very, very similar, but it has the correct proportions to it. The other thing that it has are the openings in the arms. Now, these openings weren't on the 275 NART Spider cars. They were on some of the other cars. And I really like the steering wheel just a little bit better. It has just a little more detail to it. So we're going to be going with one of these. Additionally, we have our seats. So these are the seats from the Italeri kit. These are, honestly, they're pretty nice. They're fairly accurate. They're a lot better than the ones you get out of the 250 GT kits, things like the California Spider and the SWB. Those have very poor detail. They're very soft. These are considerably cleaner. Now, P24 did a seat, and I forget which seat it was, but it looked really, really cool. And they posted it on Facebook, and I was like, dude, that looks really awesome. I'm doing a 275 NART Spider soon, and I want a seat like that. I just wish it had a little bit more of a straight back, because theirs was like kicked back like this. But it had a diamond pattern, and I absolutely loved it. So I got a like on my comment from the guys at P24. I thought nothing of it. Like, they didn't really say anything about it. They you know, just Facebook is Facebook. Got a like, moved on. A couple of weeks later, these show up on the Colts 3D page for P24. These are absolutely gorgeous. So I was really excited about these. That was kind of cool that they did them. The back has pretty much exactly the tilt that I need. So these are a lot nicer. I'm sure they didn't just do them just for me, but maybe they had them planned at some point. But it was really cool to actually see these seats. So we will be putting these in whenever we get to the interior. All right, last couple of things to talk about. These are the door cards. You can see the door lever is right here. It's really soft detail. It's kind of a blob. And then you've got a window crank down here. I will be removing both of these. Now, I've gone and 3D modeled a fairly accurate version of the Ferrari door lever. All right, so here is a closer look at the door lever. You can see that there's more detail. It's less soft. It's got that correct tab-like shape at the end where you actually actuate it. So there's that. And of course, you guys have seen before my window cranks. So I'm going to be using these instead of that softened up version that's already molded into the kit. I think that'll give us a little bit more detail and it'll look cleaner. Mind you, it will look cleaner if I can get these molded in parts removed without doing too much damage to that surface. We've also got a bunch of ejector pin marks in here that we're going to have to clean up, and we want to clean those up without taking out these rivet details that are in the door card. So that's going to be a challenge, but I think we can get in there with a bit of CA glue and fill those and get these removed out with a chisel. Alright guys, so that is a wrap for this video. The Lamborghini is in primer. I'm waiting on paint to come in. That's being shipped in from ProScale. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I always appreciate you watching the videos, and I greatly appreciate your support for the channel. I'm going to get back to work and hopefully get some clear coat on this, and I will see you guys on the next one.